Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Happy Friday. It is the first edition of the Williamsburg Association of Realtors Legislative Lightning Round. And here we are on the first Friday of the 2021 General Assembly session. The House goes in about 15-20 minutes at 4 o'clock. And it is an unprecedented session this year, given that it is all virtual. Which is why I'm not at the Capitol right now, where I would otherwise be, having finished the first week working on a number of issues for the real estate and housing industries. But instead, my background and where I'll be for the next 30 days or 45 days is right here in my office at the headquarters, if you will, of the Gaston Group, which is certainly unusual. And I'm feeling a little bit like a fish out of water because I don't have my people around me and I'm not at the Capitol. But that being said, the all virtual session is underway. The House is meeting completely all virtually. Members of the House are back in their home districts, or they might be in their law office, or in their basement, wherever they may need to have the access in order to remote in. And I have to tell you, it has gone pretty well this week. There have been a few technical difficulties, as I think we all were to have expected, but the staff and the IT team at the House of Delegates has gone out of their way to make it so accessible and very simple, I think, with a lot of latitude for engaging the opportunity to speak before a committee and for submitting written commentary that can go up until the time that the House bill actually leaves the House. That's a really nice accommodation, I think, given these very unusual circumstances. The Senate is meeting somewhat in a hybrid virtual universe. You may remember back during the special session that took place back in the summer and the fall, the Senate met all together as one body in the auditorium of the Virginia Science Museum, which is down on Broad Street. They're doing that again for this all virtual regular session. It is a different place right now because it is very apparent how human this virus has been on particularly the members of the Senate recently. The desk of my friend, Senator Ben Chafin, is draped in black cloth, and he passed away from COVID on the night of New Year's Day. And so it's a very stark reality when the 39 members of the Senate look and see that their colleague's desk is empty. It's been a really difficult week emotionally to see that. There are two other members of the Senate who are participating virtually. One actually has the virus and obviously cannot be present in person for this point of the General Assembly session. And another member of the Senate has actually been exposed and is waiting results of the COVID test to determine next steps on whether they can participate in person or if they would have to continue participating virtually. For both the House and Senate, we lobbyists do not have access to the members much. We can have one-on-one meetings. There is space to a degree over at the Science Museum where we can meet with members of the Senate, but obviously everyone is being very, very cautious. The House is meeting, again, completely virtual, so it's a little more wonky to try to meet with a member of the House. And as I said, candidly, I'm not there right now. I'm here in my home office in day 12 of my own quarantine, as it turns out, but I'm trying to really balance making sure your expectations are met while also making sure that the agenda is passed successfully and making sure that I'm still connecting with legislators. And I will say that has actually, again, gone very, very well. So while it's unusual, it's unprecedented, something I hope we don't have to repeat in 2022, I really think it's going actually fairly smoothly, all things considered. I'll also share with you that our legislative agenda has been pushed out to all of our members of the House and Senate. We now have bill numbers and we have patrons, obviously, but our top issues are the Association Health Plan, again, and we have Delegate Chris Hurst and Senator George Barker all ready to go, and they are motivated to have success with that bill this year, not just in passing the General Assembly, but also in being approved by the governor. And so we're working very, very hard to make sure that that happens. Our second priority would be on advancing the flood risk report, which will give the buyer the information that they might need in terms of assessing the potential vulnerability of a property when it comes to natural inundation, the true flood, as defined by FEMA, not whether your dishwasher breaks or your sink overflowed or your sump pump stopped working, true natural inundation from rainfall. And that bill is getting a lot of positive attention. It is being carried by fellow realtor Delegate Kelly Converse Fowler, who's from the Hampton Roads area, and has always made flooding and flooding issues very important. And so she's really being a helpful player in us getting that bill moved where we need it to be. In the Senate, that bill is being carried by Eastern Shore Senator Linwood Lewis. We all know the Shore. We all know Hampton Roads are poster children for recurrent flooding. So we believe that this will be a good outcome so that buyers are able to go to a portal at the Department of Conservation and Recreation. And sorry, that's my office assistant, Mary, who apparently needs something, but she's not going to have that right now. The flood risk report, you can access the portal at the Department of Conservation and Recreation, put in the address of the property which is under consideration, and the buyer can actually receive information that would help to determine the vulnerability of that property when it comes to flooding. There also is the provision that we are including that would put in an affirmative seller disclosure if the property has had 2 claims filed to FEMA under the National Flood Insurance Program, 2 claims at $1,000 or more apiece over the course of a 10-year rolling period. And that is already defined in federal code. So we're just lifting some of that definition of a FEMA claim and putting that into the state, into this bill, so that if there is actual knowledge, if a seller has actual knowledge of a claim that they have filed or that has been within that 10-year rolling period, then the seller will have to disclose that claim or those 2 claims being filed. Now, of course, if there had been damage and that damage has since been mitigated, then the disclosure does not need to take place. But otherwise, there would be that disclosure in place. And we are getting so much accolade and cred for taking that kind of an approach and working very closely with the Hampton Roads delegation and with the Hampton Roads Planning District Commission. So that's really getting some good attention and should probably see some movement in the next week or two. The other 2 issues that we really are working on are allowing a property owner association board to convene virtually. We're all living in the virtual world, and so that would allow a POA board or a condo association board to convene in that way. And then finally, we are on, certainly on top and on point of any issue dealing with the landlord-tenant law and evictions, and that entire code section is getting widespread attention. We're also being pulled into a few other areas. We're being asked to have input into a mold disclosure bill, where we're working with the patron to do something a little bit different than what the patron may want, but it might be something that would be more amenable to what you all are accustomed to doing when it comes to the buyer beware. There are issues around data and privacy that we're in discussions with other lobby groups and corporations. So there's indeed a lot going on. I will show you, I'm going to flip this here if I can, and just show you, you know, the universe indeed has changed, because again, here's my Capitol space for now. I do have some pictures of the Capitol, but otherwise, this is where I'm going to be for the predominance of the next few weeks as we continue to work for you and charge forward with what we think is a really good agenda. It's a strong agenda, and the realtors are very much a player in the General Assembly lobby community, and it is an honor to always go forth and work on your issues. So I thank you. There's lots more to come. I'll try to do this maybe a little more regularly, like in the middle of the week when something really cool pops up. I'll send a couple of pictures. Whoop, there goes Mary Turner. I'll send a couple pictures that might be of interest to you. And otherwise, I'm going to go because I think the puppy must need something. So anyway, lightning round number 1 complete. Bye.